Take me a while to get
Commentary.
I gotta confess, I was a little confused at the setup here because I thought this was supposed to be. Do we have a clicker? I thought this was supposed to be going this way. Dean's Unplugged, but it's Dean's Uncorked. So, the tradition of many unplugging, Clapton Unplugged, and Mariah Unplugged, and Nirvana. I actually thought I'd use this title here, 10,000 Maniacs, but turns out that's a band. So my Unplugged title, and then there's Canadian Unplugged, and then classic music Unplugged too. So anyways, some of you may not know this, but I used to be in a band. So we're going to do a little Kelly Unplugged here. And it's kind of hard to play with a clicker in my hand. But I used to be a prison guard. I know some of you guys know that already. But it's in prison. You guys, I don't know if you've ever been to prison. No, Adam has. But prison guard is hours and hours of boredom highlighted by seconds of terror. And I was a terrible prison guard. Annual evaluation, my last year I was there, the officer, my boss said, "Danfus, having you come to work is like having two good men out sick." And so I wasn't sure. That's not really a compliment, I found out later on. I'm there I am. I don't know if you can see, I'm up there, somewhere up there. Now, but all those hours of boredom, I started writing songs, and so I'm going to play some of you guys who've been around for a while, you know some of these songs, and if you know one, just kind of sing along with me. And so the first one, I don't know, I won't have time to sing this one, but it's called, the first one I wrote was, "I got a bathroom stall, now if I only had a wall. For someone to build it, they'd make a lot of money." So that one didn't go very far, I didn't make much money on that one. But probably the most popular one, sing along with this, you guys probably know this one. This one's a Prison Break, jailbreak sometimes people call it, but Prison Break. And it goes a little bit like this, you guys sing along if you know it. It kind of goes like this. Sometimes it's in the key of G. All right, I confess that's a dad joke. I'm a dad. Are there any new dads out there anywhere? I can't see, the lights are kind of bright here. Hey, there's a new dad right there. Hey, what's your name, sir? Kyle, very nice. Nice to meet you. It's so hot here. I got my carry forward shirt on, but it's so hot here. Hang on a second. I gotta take this one off. It's too hot here. So I can here. I feel a little bitter now. So anyway, had this shirt for a year and a half, right for the right time to use it, and so here I am, my Harper shirt. Now, see, that's not. Let's do this one. I'm fixing this. Okay, so thank you very much. So there's my band. That's actually a picture of me and my band. We're called the Mounties, was what we're called, and we had some albums that come out. This is actually a real band, by the way. There's our drummer. He actually had the Mounties on his drum thing. And so we're out there, and one of our early songs, you guys were here last year, you heard about the Ballad of Hiring Anne Frank, Anne Hyde. The Ballad of Hiring Anne Frank was actually from the 40s, and so by this time, a little newer. The hiring, it's got the same tune as the record, the Evans Fitzgerald, but you guys may remember this. This was a story about a proposal, not the Canadian who was playing an American who's pretending to be married to an American who's actually Canadian, but actually a proposal by part of history to bring somebody in here to bring the Western History Quarterly here. And they decided to come talk to some folks. They came and talked to Kyle, then they came and talked to me. It's an old picture, but then they went and talked to Dean Luce, and they talked to the chair of the department, and then they talked to Dean Williams, and together we were able to come up and actually hire this person. We actually hired Anne Hyde, and this is kind of a similar story. This is an oldie here. This is actually a year old here, but we got a new one, and this is the time of the unplugged part, what everyone hates. It's like the new song that no one's heard yet. But this is a new song here. It's called the Ballad of Hiring Carlos Hill. So this is the total faculty in the Department of AFAM, the African American Studies program. Had the department director there, Jeanette Davidson. She's been the director for 15 years, and she has a single faculty member. And we've had a series of assistant professors roll through this program, and we decided last year, we're going to start hiring associate professors or full professors. We're going to do a real hard target search to bring some folks in. And so we ended up having a fantastic candidate, Carlos Hill. Carlos was outstanding. He ever met with Kyle, and after he met with Kyle, Kyle called me and said, let's hire that guy. And I did a little celebratory little song about that, and we offered him the job, but on the way to the airport, he told Jeanette, I don't think I want to come. I don't think my wife wants to come to Norman. So Jeanette called me on the way home from the airport and said, I don't think we're going to get Carlos because his wife doesn't want to leave Lubbock. And I almost fell off my chair. Who wouldn't want to leave Lubbock?
Happiness is Lubbock in your dream.
Hey, that's a great song. That's a Mac Davis song. I don't know if there's any Mac Davis fans out there. There's one right there. So anyway, they called me. So I don't know if you know that being a dean really wears on you. So changed over the years. She called me and said, what are we going to do? So of course I called the boss and I said, boss, what are we going to do with this? And he said, go get him. Go get him. And so I did. So I called Carlos myself and in Lubbock, and I was actually talking on the phone. Joe Harris and I were introducing a program down at the law school. I was a little late getting there, so I was sitting in the parking lot talking to Carlos, and he didn't want to come. He said, my wife doesn't want to come. I'm not going to leave. We've got 2 kids. We've got twin kids, and they don't want to leave. They're little kids, and we're not going to come. And I talked to him about 3 or 4 times on the phone. Finally, I said, can I talk to your wife? It's kind of weird, but I did. So I talked to his wife, Jenny, and I talked to her. I said, please come to Norman in the springtime. That's another song I have. Please come to Norman and visit us. Give us a chance to see what we're like compared to Lubbock. And she didn't want to come. She finally did come. When she came, I took over the search. Normally we defer and let departments run things, but I ran this search. This was a one-person search, and so I ran it, and I brought in my secret weapon, this person right here, my wife. And so we took them out, and it wasn't necessarily whining and dining, but it was sharing. It's kind of things that we were talking. You were hearing earlier from your dean colleagues, especially Daniel's story about these are personal decisions, momentous decisions for people to make to leave places. And this wasn't about money. This was about fit for them. And we talked. We went to dinner. We talked about our family. We didn't talk about position at all. But we asked them, really think about living here in Norman and how you can make a difference here, and how we're trying to build this program. You're going to help her do something she can't do by herself, and we're invested in this. And we're fighting an uphill battle because you may have heard about the video that came out about a year earlier that we're really struggling with this, and he talked about that in the race relations on our campus and so on. And so the question is, was it a success? And I'd like to tell you that it was a success, and it actually was a success. It really was. And here's the letter he wrote me when he said, we're coming to Norman. He said, we're ready to move to Norman. It's a big decision for us. We had to think it through. And then this last part here, a big factor in accepting your offer has to do with the incredibly warm reception my wife received from you and your wife. And his decision was based almost entirely on his wife's readiness for this. So the big success here is that it's kind of like my life, the microcosm of my own life here. And so the huge success was recognizing and having permission from Kyle to go and make this happen, and encouragement from Kyle, and to step in a way that deans normally don't in our college historically do. So here we are. They actually came over to our house for dinner last night, and Jenny and Carlos and Beth, and we had dinner in Headington because it's free, and I'm a cheap date. But we're so excited to have them here, and we wouldn't have them here if Kyle hadn't, pushed me and hadn't telling me to talk to Carlos. When I talked to Carlos, I found out what his issue was. It wasn't money. I'm sure he'll take more if I would have given it to him, but it was his wife. And once we convinced Jenny, everything else happened after that. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Happiness indeed is Lubbock in his rearview mirror. Thank you very much. By the way, Carlos just wrote a book. It's called Beyond the Rope. It's about lynching in America, the history of lynching in America. And he inscribed it. He said, "There's anybody in your party tomorrow that just had a baby this week, that they should get one of these books." And so he inscribed a book for you. All right.